What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hats Project. I'm John Ordalaza, and today we're going to be talking about spoilers for Hawkeye Episode 4. So if you're not caught up with the series, go bug your grandmother, go make her start a free trial for Disney Plus, and then don't remind her to cancel the automatic renewal so you get Disney Plus until the end of time. Let me know down below, what did you think of those first two episodes, and are your feelings for the show changing in those third and fourth episodes that we've gotten in the last 2 weeks? Because mine are. My feelings are changing drastically. I wasn't super hyped about the Hawkeye show when it was announced, and those first two episodes didn't really do it for me. Like, there's some great stuff in there for sure, but there's nothing hype about Hawkeye and Kate Bishop to me. But in those third and fourth episodes that we've gotten so far in the last 2 weeks, I've really gravitated towards this show. There's a lot of heart there with Clint being away from his family and being able to bond with Kate through the family dynamic because, you know, she's lost her father in the Battle of New York, and they showed that in the first episode. And obviously Clint is kind of an Avenger, and he's a big deal, and he's always on missions doing stuff, so he's gonna be away from his family quite a bit. This episode continues that bond between Kate and Clint, and I love it, dude. It's so endearing, and I just love it. And at the end of the third episode, we got Kate's stepfather, or soon-to-be stepfather, I guess. They're not married yet. Like, he just brought the sword, the Ronin sword, right up to Hawkeye's throat, like, as he was about to attack him. And they showed his face. It wasn't like a mystery or anything, and I just forgot to mention it in my last review. So I thought, oh god, is he gonna just turn now and just reveal himself to be like the big baddie now? The mom walks into the room and she says, oh, what is an Avenger doing in my living room? So then they start to have like this little like four-way conversation in the living room, just talking about like what are they doing and how they know each other, and is my daughter in trouble? Kate's mother brings up the question, are you two partners? And that's kind of the theme of the episode. Like, are they actually partners? Does Clint see Kate as a partner? Obviously not. He's in his own mind, he's kind of a lone wolf when he's not with the Avengers, and he feels like he needs to complete this current mission with the Tracksuit Mafia and Maya Lopez and all of that stuff going on. He feels like he needs to take that on alone. It's just that, you know, she's very resourceful because Kate knows a thing or two about arrows and archery and combat, so it's like, might as well use her. That's kind of a screwed up way to think about it, but it's true. Like, I feel like that's how Clint sees Kate. Like, he kind of utilizes her while making her think that they're in this together and that they're equals in this mission, but really it's not. And he does make it known later on in the episode, like, we're not partners. You were never my partner. Kate's mom sees out Clint, but then stops him at the doorway to have a little one-on-one. She says, hey, can you just leave my daughter out of it? She's not exactly an Avenger. And then Clint tries to, you know, go to bat for her just a little bit, says, well, you know, she's pretty good at what she does. And the mother says, so was Natasha, right? Clint was probably standing there like, oh boy, you better call Ed in this room right now because you don't know what kind of demonic presence you just conjured up in this Avenger. After Clint leaves, Kate just hangs out at the apartment with her mother and, you know, mustache twirler over here. And he, you know, serenades her, and he's just, you know, being all cutesy with her. And you see Kate loves to see her mother happy. It reminds her of the family that she once had with her, you know, her biological father who's no longer with them. I love that the show doesn't have to just outright say it. I can piece it together. I can see in her face that she just doesn't feel welcomed here. She doesn't feel welcomed. She's got that familiarity, of course, with her mother, and she loves her mother, but she feels out of place because this isn't her dad. So later in the evening, Kate hits up Clint and then just shows up with a big old pizza and the dog and a stack of movies. And that's where the endearing part of the show started to kick in. Like, I really liked to see them two bond together. She knows that he's far away from his family and from his kids who really miss him and really hate the fact that he just keeps tacking on a day and a day when things get deeper and deeper into this whole mission that they're going about with the Tracksuit Mafia and Maya and her boss, who may or may not be the Kingpin, who's Totally the kingpin. Kate and Clint put on these ugly Christmas sweaters and they start planning the rest of their mission with the Tracksuit Mafia and how to get the cops off of Kate so she can start living a normal life, because she really is caught in the middle of this, and it's a good thing that she knows a thing or two about archery so she can defend herself a little bit, and she's also learning quite a bit from Hawkeye. My favorite part is when the two sit down on the couch and Kate starts to find out more about Clint, like his family was blipped and she didn't know about that, and that must have been devastating, and everyone dealt with it in their own way, Clint said, and then she slowly started to piece things together herself. It shows that she's a smart individual. She doesn't have to be told things. I like that she figured it out herself, that Clint was Ronin. And immediately, because she was such a big fan of Hawkeye growing up, and she was such a fanatic because in a way he saved her, she was defending him in this argument. She was saying, yeah, you did that, but that's in your past. You gotta look to the future, and he just can't let it go. He feels terrible for what he did as Ronin. That's what I love about the MCU and the Hawkeye show currently, is that everyone was all hyped to see Ronin in the trailer for Avengers Endgame, and then boom, there's ramifications because he's killing people. He made enemies as the Ronin, and like Maya, who's still looking for him, and Kate dressing up as the Ronin in the first 2 episodes didn't really help. That's why I love the scene so much. I really do hope that we get more of that in those last 2 episodes. Like, we're already done with the show. We're done with it. It's 2 weeks from now, and it's done. That's crazy to me. Final part of this episode, Kate and Clint hatch a plan to break into this apartment to steal a watch. I don't remember exactly the significance of the watch, but they wanted to steal it. So Clint sends Kate into the apartment. Jesus, saying Clint and Kate so close together in the sentence is a real tongue twister. He sends Kate into the apartment to look for the watch, and she sees this stick, this arrow, like in the top corner of the wall, strobe lighting. It's not a bomb or anything. She was just like, huh, I wonder what that's about. And then they find out that it's a device to be used for deaf people who can't hear, Maya Lopez. And this is her apartment. Before anything happens to Kate, she hears over the intercom that something's happening to Clint. He's like getting beat up or something. Then Kate turns around, boom, Maya attacks her. And now Maya's fighting Kate in the apartment, and you can still hear Clint through the earpiece saying, I'm fighting Maya right now. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure she's in here. And like, she's clearly fighting her. But there's someone on the roof wearing a mask with like night vision goggles attacking Clint, and I had a feeling who I thought it was. Kate then zip lines across the street to the building where Clint was, and then Maya follows her, and then you see like this 4-way battle going on with, Clint, the masked person, Kate, and Maya, and then the masked person uses like this electricity blast from her wrist that glows very bright red. And if you guys have seen, some Marvel stuff, you'd know that that's Black Widow technology. You guessed it. It's Yelena. She's here, she's targeting Clint because in that post-credit scene of the Black Widow film, she's recruited by Valentina, I believe that's her name. She's from the Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's where we first saw her. Valentina hired Yelena to take down Clint because she falsely kind of said, this is the man responsible for killing your sister, Natasha, which, no, but yes, but no, because she jumped off the cliff on the thing. So it's not really his fault, but drama, am I right? Yelena is actually unmasked, and it's confirmed to be her. She escapes, and so does Maya, and Clint and Kate are just left on the building, and he says, look, a Black Widow assassin. Someone sent that after me. This is getting real. I'm doing this alone from here on out. You need to go home because you're gonna get yourself killed. That's what I'm saying. Bring the crazy stakes to this Hawkeye show that really I just wasn't hyped about to begin with, and now they're slowly, every episode is just making me more hyped to get to that conclusion. And that's what I feel like all these shows need to learn from. They need to do that. I didn't really get that with Falcon and Winter Soldier. It kind of dipped in the middle for me personally. Same with Loki, just a little bit, but Loki's still a dope show. I know I didn't review it, maybe in the future, but I really like the progression that we're getting with the Hawkeye episodes, and I really do hope that we go out with a bang in these last two. Guys, let me know down below, what did you think of this latest episode of Hawkeye? If you've gotten a chance to check it out, I highly recommend it. This show is pretty fun. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys, and be sure to stick around because this week I will be dropping my review for Spider-Man Far From Home. And look, dude, Spider-Man No Way Home is next week. That, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. It's there. We're here. I'm also going to be doing reviews for Black Widow and Shang-Chi, just a little, before the end of the year reviews, because I really did want to review them. I missed out on them. That was the time where I took a break from the channel, but I'm back, and I want to talk about those two films, so you might want to stick around, guys, because there's a bunch of content coming to the channel, a lot of Marvel content, and as I always say, there's more to come.